I knew that was coming. I knew the song was ending. I could tell, but I wasn't quite ready. So anyways, how's it going, everybody? First day of the 12 days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, DrZzs gave you WLED 0.11 update. You like those dancing squirrels? Major morning. Excellent. Excellent. I love those dancing squirrels. That's really been fun. Finally, like Creative made that for me, like, goodness sakes. I don't remember how long ago. It's been a while. It has certainly been a while. All right, let me finish updating this thing with the thumbnail. Now we got a good thumbnail. That'll do. That'll do. How's it going, everybody? Oh, thanks for tuning in. I know this is an odd time for most of us, but maybe this is going to be a great time for some who don't usually get to say hi. So glad to have you. Enrique, JD, James is here. Seamus is here. All right, DK, Danny, Nick. Who was first? I gotta go see who's first. Nicholas. Oh, no, UK Heli Pilot was first. How's it going, man? You were first. That's right. Live on Monday. That's right, Jason. Jason looks like he's flying a helicopter, too. All right. How's it going, everybody? I work from home, so I can watch without my boss looking over my shoulder. Good. That's excellent. Imagine not celebrating Christmas, Reese. Why would you not celebrate Christmas, Reese? How you doing, by the way? Glad to be here. Awesome, awesome. First time. DC Ubi, DC Subby. Sorry, brother. I messed up your name. But since it's your first time being here, we're going to put some unicorns for you. Oh, and we got Mr. Sacky Boy Paradox, also first time being here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. 5 p.m., just home from work, Mr. Fixers. Fantastic. Hey, Izzy Wizzy. Well, yesterday, for those of you who were able to tune in a little bit yesterday, what we did was we talked about what we were going to do for the 12 streams of Christmas. And for those of you who haven't been maybe following along with me for a long time, this is the third year in a row that I've done the 12 streams of Christmas. The first time it was, I think, because I just had a bunch of time off during the week of Christmas. And so I was like, well, what am I going to do? I'm just going to stream every day. So that's what I did. And then it was a lot of fun and got a lot of information covered. That was like the biggest thing was, there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about that we don't always have enough time. So Pinky Wafer's here. What? How's it going? How's it going, Jenny? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Have you agreed a running order? You mean like which topics in which order? No, I haven't. Good. I'm glad, Justin King. Thanks for subscribing. Can't wait to learn and start my own projects. Fantastic. We're going to do this one too now. Was AirCookie able to get the integration fixed? It's been buggy the past couple weeks. Oh, I didn't know about that. She who shall not be named only about half of my new NodeMCUs. Oh, bummer. Hey, Pedro. No, we're going to talk about that today, so we'll try it out. We'll try it out, Shulin. We'll try it out. Sonoff Rain. I was halfway through saying something. I'm going to do better, right? I'm going to do better. I'm going to actually finish my thoughts. Anyways, one of the things we started talking about yesterday, and one of the things we have on the list for the 12 streams of Christmas is the WLED update. So to take a step back for a second, I assume everybody knows what WLED is, but if you do not know what WLED is, it is by far, hands down, the best LED or RGB LED controlling software that you can find anywhere. For what it is supposed to do, it does it beautifully, and nothing comes close to doing it as good. It's been about a year and a half since I discovered, or since someone showed me what WLED is, and I started playing with it, and it has made great improvements. It was already fantastic, but it's made great improvements. And the latest version just came out a week or so ago, 0.11, and it's made some awesome improvements again. So I thought we'd take this time, since it's been a while since I've gone through like all the settings and how you do a bunch of things. So we're going to take today and we're going to focus on WLED. We're going to go through what the new changes are with 0.11, but also just kind of some of the other things that are normal or that have been maybe part of WLED for a while that not everybody has learned how to do or knows how to do. And assuming we still have some time, I don't think it's going to take a ton of time. But assuming we still have some time, we will look at how you can control WLED stuff in Home Assistant, because Home Assistant has had an integration for WLED for a while, and it's really good. It's really good, and there's a lot of different things you can do. And then with the latest version, with 0. What are we on? 118 officially. That's the official release of Home Assistant 0.118. There was a couple new things, like I think it was palettes or something, but you can do presets and effects and all that stuff now through there. So, all right. So sound good? Now let's read chat for a minute. All right. DC Subby got his DigiUno over the weekend. Fantastic. We still have some DigiUnos. We don't. Oh, actually, I just got the message from Quindor. Just now as I sat down and opened up Discord. Quindor has written me and says that the DigiQuads will be shipping tomorrow. The DigiQuads will be shipping to me tomorrow, which means usually it takes them a couple of days to get to me, not very long. So I would definitely expect that by the end of this week, so come Friday, everybody who's been waiting to get a DigiQuad from me will be getting an email saying it's in the mail. Okay? By the end of this weekend coming up, we will have all the DigiQuads finally caught up. That will make me so happy. Make everybody else happy too. And there's Quindor. Yep, heard his name. All right. NodeMCU keeps going offline randomly. It's only has about 65% signal strength. Is that enough? Boy, Ryan, I sure have that problem too. Is that enough? Well, if it keeps going offline, probably not. Sometimes the going offline can happen if the voltage that's powering it is too low. I've had that happen. In fact, I spent quite a bit of time last night doing that and chasing that problem down, and I ended up just having to use a different power supply. But these guys are giving you great tips right here. Shulin says turn off sleep mode. That's probably the first thing. So if you go in here to config, and is it Wi-Fi setup, I believe, down here at the bottom? Yes. Disable Wi-Fi sleep. Turn on disable Wi-Fi sleep. It's kind of a double negative, right? But you don't want the Wi-Fi to go to sleep. So that may solve it. 65% should be pretty good, but you know, this will help. And then the other idea there from Gahan is get a D1 Mini Pro, which is the external antenna, which is what Jerian and Sabrina says. Get a D1 Mini Pro, and the D1 Mini Pro has the external antenna, so you can get some extra range out of that. Can you use a read switch with WLED? For example, use it a pantry as a light when the door opens. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And the way that you can do that is by connecting it to, I'm assuming you want to connect it directly to the controller. You need to connect it to GPIO 0. So there is a button. Where is this? Set up here. Countdown presets double. There's a way to turn it on, and I can't remember where it is. We'll find it here in a second. You can connect any button you like to GPIO 0, and some of these, like NodeMCUs, already have a button connected to GPIO 0, but you can still do GPIO 0, directly with the pins. But if you do want to connect a button to it, button, somebody help me find the place where we put the buttons. Macro presets, button, here we go. Button short press preset. Well, anyways, this button, when it's talking about this short press, long press, double press, that's talking about any button that you connect to GPIO 0. I thought there was a place where you had to activate that. So hopefully I'm not missing something. I thought there used to be a place you had to do that. But anyways, regardless. what you need to do is you set your preset. So say you're talking about a reed switch where you open the door, pantry door, and it comes on, right? You want WLED to come on. So, and I think, yeah, guys is probably right. You'll need to invert the reed switch because when it goes on or when it separates is when you want it to activate. So I'm not sure how you'll have to do that mechanically. You have to figure that one out. But anyways, you set your presets and then you just say, okay, this is going to be preset number 1, right? And so now when there's a short press on that button that's connected to GPIO 0, it will activate preset number 1. So that would be the easy way to do it. If you wanted to just use WLED for that, you certainly can. And this is really nice because it makes it so you can connect a button, like a physical button, to select presets, turn presets on and off or whatever. You can also, with long press and double press, which are, I don't know what version those got added to. They weren't there in the original one that I started playing with. But long press and double press, you can do something like, if you long press, have it go to a preset that turns everything off, basically, right? Pretty cool. There is normally open and normally closed reed switches that you can choose when you buy. TD Dark, thank you. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So make sure that you get one that is probably, let's see, when the door's closed, you're going to want it to be normally open. And then when you open the door, it will close. That's probably what you need. If the reed switch is closed, when you power boot, it won't go into boot mode. Oh, that's you know what? That's a good point too. Sir Good Enough has a good point. If your reed switch is closed and you power boot, it'll put the board into programming mode. So that could be a problem. Does the DigiQuad have everything the DigiUno has plus more? Yes, that's exactly right, Justin King. The DigiQuad, as the name indicates, has the ability to control 4 channels, 4 output channels. When you buy the pre-made ones, it comes with an ESP32 instead of an ESP8266, which is the D1 Mini, the older one, the less powerful processor one. That's what the Uno comes with. It comes with the older one. And so you get, with the Quad, you get the ability for 4 channels. You get the ESP32, and you get multiple connections for things like power injection and multiple fuses. Make sure you deactivate long press. Yeah, Shulin's got some good, normally open. Did I say it wrong? So anyways, those are good answers. Thank you guys for helping him with that. I did see somebody say that they wanted a unicorn, and I don't remember who it was or why, but we're going to play one anyways. There you go. I got my Dr. Pepper today. It's in a big jug. Okay, Matt has a good question. Which version of WLED download do I use for the DigiUno? So I will not just tell you, I will kind of teach as well. How does that sound? I will explain to you why you need the different versions, okay? This will be useful for a lot of people. Oh, golly. Oh, Reese? Was that you, Reese? Was that you? Yeah, give me a flipping heart attack. It's been a while since anybody screamed at me like that. Good grief. Okay, catch my breath. Whew. Stinker. The unicorn freaks my cat out because it has the wind chime sound, which is similar to the Ring doorbell. Oh, hey, machine guy. All right, so let me show you this. Let's talk about which dig board you need for which version of WLED you need for which devices, okay? Actually, I even have a DigiQuad here, which is my own, my precious. All right, sorry about the glare of the light there, but you know it's going to be fine. Okay, so I'm going to move this over a little bit. Come on, move, go, get out, over there. All right, so let's talk about the way these connect. Okay, so this is an Uno, and the Uno normally comes with this, which is the ESP8266 version, the D1 Mini. You can really tell, the best way to tell is because it's got very few pins and it's smaller compared to the ESP32 version, which is this version. This one, if you look at this, just the edge right there, it's got a ton more pins, right? Tons of more places for things to connect. So the DigiUno comes with the ESP8266 like this. You could use the 8266 on the quad, but it's not probably the best option. Not even not probably. It's not the best option. So, but it would work. It would work. Now, these headers are connected, or they're made so that they will associate with the appropriate pins here, okay? Now, the ESP32 has a different pin out, okay? This one has a little sticker on it. For me, it looks like it has. I wonder if I can, do I have another one? I can show you. Yeah, I do. So when you connect an 8266 to one of these boards, the output for the LEDs comes off of D4, pin D4, okay, which is the third pin up right here. So when you connect this here, it's going to be, let's see, where is it? Right there. Okay, connects to that one. On the 8266, IO4 is actually this further out pin. So the one that is on the inside that's going to fit into those headers is actually 16. It's actually IO16, okay? So that's a long explanation, but basically the answer to the question of which version of WLED do you need, here it comes. If you're using the 8266, which is the version that comes with the DigiUno, then you need the 8266 version of WLED. So if we go to the releases page, well, you can't really see the releases page back there, but I'll show you the releases page too. But it just says WLED and then the version number and then ESP8266. That's what you need for this, okay? It doesn't matter whether you're using it on one of these DigiUnos or DigiQuads or anything else. When it's the 8266, that's the version that you need. Okay. If you're using the ESP32, you may be using, if you were, say, using it with like a NodeMCU, oops, that's not one. So there are some, like this one, there are some ESP32 NodeMCUs like this. If you were going to use this, you can't put this on the DigiUno or the DigiQuad, right? It doesn't line up the pins, so it wouldn't work on one of those. But you could still use this with WLED. If you're doing that, then you would just use the regular version of WLED for the ESP32. So it will say the version, it'll say WLED, version number, and then ESP32. That's it. Okay. But if you are using an ESP32 and you're connecting it to the DigiUno or the DigiQuad, then you need the ESP32 pin 16 version. Okay? That was a really long answer to a really simple question. That's what we like to do. That's what we like to do. We like to make things as complicated as possible. All right, so let's go to the code. Let's go to the versions page here. And we'll look at the versions page. All right, so if you're using a D1 Mini, whether you're using it on a DigiUno or DigiQuad, doesn't matter. You need the ESP8266 version. That's this guy right here. Great. If you're using an ESP32 that is not connected to a DigiUno or a DigiQuad, then you need the regular ESP32 version. If you're using an ESP32 that is connected to a DigiUno or a DigiQuad, then the version that you need is ESP32 LED pin 16. Now, so that's something to check. My dinner is ready. Dinner? Man, I'm having breakfast, brother. Sheesh. Thanks for being here, Quindor. I'll still be here when you're done eating. I don't think you'll be eating for 2 hours. I don't know. Maybe you have a big dinner. That'd be fun. So there was one more thing I was going to add to that. Now I can't remember what it was.
Huh?
Are the quads available without ESPs? No. Although sometimes I wish they were. Because what we've discovered is the point of the greatest point of failure. Now that we've sold hundreds of these, the thing that has failed most often is this guy. And sometimes the problem is that it's not flashed. Okay, I will also tell you I've been selling some replacements, and I flashed them with I flashed them with the wrong with ESP32, not the 16 version, just because I had somebody else doing it for me and I wasn't paying attention. And anyways, so you may get one of these that is flashed with ESP32 version and not the 32 pin 16 version. So before you give up and throw things away or get mad at me, try reflashing it. These are very simple to reflash. Try reflashing it with the pin 16 version if you're using it on an Uno or a quad. Okay? That's a lot of stuff. Oh, and then of course, just to throw one more little twist in there, there's also the alpha multiple output version, right? So did somebody ask about that? The multiple output version? I should keep that one handy. All right, let's see. We're going to go DigiQuad, multi-channel, build. Here it is. Yes, this is it. True? Yes, this is it. Okay. Now, if you're using an ESP32 and you're using it on a DigiQuad and you want to use the 4 different outputs, which in most cases you probably will, then the version that you want is actually this version. Okay, so, oh boy, this has gotten really complicated, hasn't it? So DigiQuad with an ESP32, and you want to use all 4 outputs with a precompiled binary. This is precompiled. If you've got the skills and the knowledge to compile it yourself, then go for that. But if you need if you're like me and you would prefer to just have somebody else do the hard stuff, then this is what you need. Okay? Thank you very much. Sir Goodenough is a star. I have not sent you enough Christmas presents, Sir Goodenough. You are on the nice list for sure. Which ESP32 board is that? Where can I get one? Which one, Gahan? Do you want, you mean this one? This guy here? This is called a Mini 32. I have them on my website flashed with WLED and with the pins soldered on, but you can get them from Amazon or AliExpress easy enough. Yeah, I think on AliExpress you probably pay $4 or $5 a piece, something like that. No more KEDS. Okay, be right back. Need coffee. The Mini that's compatible with the DigiUno. Yes, the same one. Yes, the ESP. It's called the Mini 32. It's called the Mini 32, and it is compatible with the Uno. And I have them. No more LEDs. Sir Goodenough says no more LEDs. It's going to be a lot of LEDs today, brother. All right. So that was a good question. That was a good question, and it took us a bit on a 20-minute explanation, but it was good. No, that is not a dumb question, Justin. That's a good question, and you are correct. If you buy a DigiQuad or a DigiUno, you don't need the NodeMCU. So the NodeMCU is what I was recommending, what I was using about a year ago, before the DigiUnos and way before the DigiQuads were available. So now that the DigiUnos and the DigiQuads are available, they are a very, very, very good option. Much better option than just a plain NodeMCU. More expensive, right? If you're really on a tight budget and you're really like, look, I got $50 to spend on this and I got to spend, 40 of it on lights, then I got to go super cheap on my controller. Then yeah, a NodeMCU and a sacrificial pixel or a null pixel, as some call it, to boost the data signal is going to work well enough for you. Okay. What's the best way to connect wires to the pins on the NodeMCU? The best way is to solder them, but the other way is to get some jumper wires and like this. Some jumper wires. Oh, that's the wrong one. The female end, the ones that have the female end on them. And then just cut that off. So you take one end that has the female part. Too much stuff. Right, so jumpers that have this female end like this, and then just, go to the other end of this and just cut that off and then splice it to your other wires. That's how I do it. If you don't want to solder. Okay. Question about LED but not Dig or WLED. Okay. I have a controller that is 12 to 24 volts and strip that is 5, so I understand they are not compatible. WS 2011 with Magic Home. Let's see. I like it, John. If lighting $100 bills on fire scares you, then LEDs are not the rabbit hole you're looking for. That's awesome. Okay, let me answer this other question, though. Let's see what Kuba says. The controller, so you have a controller that you bought. It's a Magic Home controller. Well, it depends on what the output of that controller is. If the output of that controller is 12, I mean, it's got to be designated as either 12 or 24 for the output. It might, that 12 to 24 sounds to me like that's going to be the input voltage, or that you'll have to set it one way or the other, because your LEDs have to be like your string of WS2811s. I don't know if there are 24 volt WS2811s. There possibly are, but there's definitely 12 volt WS2811s. So make sure that your power supply and your LEDs matched, so that the output of your controller, the output of your LED matches the voltage that your LEDs are expecting, or you will have smoke. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, Rick, when I say let's do it, I mean let's finally get to what we came to talk about today. Put these controllers away for now. So, the question that Rick is asking is a good one. He says, when I save a set presets and check the preset cycle, it works fine. But when I click the set current preset cycle setting as boot default in the options and save, when I restart the controller, it is not saving the time per preset. I see. So let's play with that. I do know when you set this preset cycle, I like the preset cycle too, and I'm pretty sure that unfortunately when you restart the board, that preset cycle goes away. Reorder notification from I don't remember which one is my Christmas tree. We're going to get a Christmas tree, Mama, Daddy, Sister, and me. Let's see where we at. My Christmas tree here. 91? No, that's not it. Problem with having so many of these is I get confused on which IP addresses, and I don't remember them. Cheapest option. Thank you, Caleb. That's awesome. For the bonus tip there, let me play you something fun, and then I'll read your question. What's the cheapest option to get the board to build the Uno yourself? I'm waiting to these stupid amounts for these projects. Oh, Caleb, is Quindor still here? I don't think he is. What's the cheapest option to get the board to build the Uno yourself? Wow. AliExpress and buying all the parts is the cheapest option. It's a bit of a pain, and it takes a long time, and you have to buy a bunch of parts you probably aren't going to need. So that's a sucky thing, and we're trying to solve that. And the best solution clearly would be to sell kits, so that you can buy a little baggie, and in that little baggie are all the parts that you need, right? And I know Quindor and I have talked about it, and I know it is on the roadmap. I don't know how long until it's available, but it shouldn't be too hard. You know, we got these guys in China putting these things together for us. If they could just throw the parts in a bag and ship it out, that would be fantastic, right? What did you say? Wanting to use a stupid amount of these for projects. So if you want a lot of them, if you don't mind getting a lot of them, then you can get the parts on AliExpress. Quindor has links to all of the stuff on his site. I think occasionally there's been a few parts that I've gone to DigiKey for in the past instead of AliExpress, just because of what they had available and what they didn't have available. If you buy them in batches of enough to build, 50, 100. Unfortunately, I mean, sometimes, you're buying like little tiny resistors, and they don't sell them one at a time. They sell them, 100 at a time. So I hope that helps you, Caleb. AliExpress and Quindor's links. But hopefully at some point we'll have kits. We'll have kits available, but probably not in the, well, I don't know, maybe not in the time frame that you're thinking of, but maybe it is. Maybe you can, if you can wait maybe a month or so. Got a single and a quad on order. All right. Ruman, did you hear when I said early we got the notice finally that they are shipping the quads. So we are going to get quads. I should get them to me this week. Hey, Stubbs, what the heck? It's not Sunday. Yeah, it's the 12 streams of Christmas, brother. Day number 1 of the 12 streams of Christmas. Dealing with China is a pain. So slow. Amen, Cerebral Dad. Amen. Been posting upgraded WLED down my DigiUno for weeks. Did it yesterday, and it was so simple. Oh, good. And you know what? It's funny you say that, Milobi, because Carlos was one of our frequent viewers, was on yesterday, and he did it during the stream, and he messed it up. Or he didn't mess it up, but it broke on him. So let's look at this for a second. So we're going back to a question about these preset cycles. So let's describe this scenario. What you're looking at right here is my Christmas tree WLED controller. So this controller is what is managing our Christmas tree. Great. I've got right now 8 different presets set up in this controller, and I've got the preset cycle turned on. So the first preset that it starts with is number 1. The last one is number 8. That's there just in case you didn't want to use all of your presets. I do want to use all of the presets. So I've got all of them inside this range. And then this is the part that, can't remember now who asked the question. Anyways, you know who you are. Sorry. Oh, AirCookie's here. Yay! Yay! Oh man. Well, we are here to talk about WLED 0.11. And maybe you can help us with this thing we're about to talk about. So what we were talking about is the preset timer being reset. AirCookie subscribed. Oh my gosh, I have made it. This is success now. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. All right. Man, if you guys haven't gone to AirCookie and let's go give AirCookie a Christmas present. Hold on. You know how it is around here. All right. We're squirreling around. Small gift. I like to do this. USD. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Hopefully that won't show my PayPal balance. Okay, it's not showing my PayPal balance, so that's good. All right. Merry Christmas, Christian. Merry Christmas. You're awesome. Thank you for what you do. There's no... I started the stream by saying that there is absolutely no better LED control software than WLED. You are fantastic. So thank you. Thank you. Do I need your PayPal account? I'll take it. Oh, nice. Thank you, Andy. All right. So shower AirCookie with your Christmas gifts. This is the time to show your appreciation to AirCookie. Thank you very much, Andy. I'm going to put this in here. And we could probably let's even just grab this link. Copy link address. There you go. There you go. There you go. All right. Merry Christmas, AirCookie. Thank you, brother. Now let's get back to this question. So the question was, and I totally lost it up there now in the chat, but the question was about the timer here being reset. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see what happens if I just restart, because I think it changes it if it restarts. Oh, look at that. I'm only on 10.2. Oh, we're going to have to fix that. Oh, 11.1 is coming soon with a few fixes. Oh, cool. What's a good software to make pixel art for a matrix? Gosh, I don't know. I wish I knew. If you find something flicks my switch, let me know. I was using, for matrix stuff, I was using one called Lynx. Is that what it was called? Lynx? Lynx, I think. Yeah. So here's the, maybe this is something to add to the list, AirCookie. When you get back to the, well, you probably never stop getting back to the programming, but the preset, the time per preset resets when you restart. Oh, Richard, you fought with it? I'm sorry. Well, is it so sometimes on the OTA, depending on how much memory your device has that you're running WLED on, you can't do an over-the-air update anymore because it's gone beyond 500 kilobytes. So if you're using a controller that only has 1 megabyte of memory, there's not enough room on that controller now for 2 versions of WLED. So you have to do it manually. But most of these have 4. So good software for stair motion lighting. Ooh, I'm not sure. That would be cool. I've seen somebody do that. Who did that? Whoever did that, let's, oh, I had the 4 megabyte unit, so that was fine. It was remembering how to unlock the update, then install. Oh, well, let's do an update right now. Let's update this one right here. So this is my Christmas tree, so we cannot break it. This is my Christmas tree. So this is a good one to use as an example of how to update. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see what it is I'm using, because I don't even remember. Looks like I'm using An ESP8266. Oh, actually, I know what I'm using. I'm actually using an ESP8266 on a DigiQuad. Not a lot of people those do, but broken on a count of 3. Yeah, pretty much. Constant ringing. Oh, constant ringing. You're right. It's about what's about to happen. Okay, here we go. So the first thing I did was go to info to check which version I'm using currently so that I know which version I need to upgrade to. If you try and upgrade an ESP32 with the 8266 version or vice versa, it will not work. Bad things will happen. So now that I know I'm running the 8266 version, because I must be using a D1 Mini, I'm going to go to Security and Updates, and then I'm going to go to Manual OTA Update. It tells me what version I have installed, what release, and if you want to download it from there, it's easy to click that, and it will take you to the releases page. I already have it, because I've got them all in my Flash Easy folder. And here it is, WLED 0.11.0 ESP8266.bin. So that's what I'm going to grab. Canis Pater did a stair lights video. Oh, that's cool. I got to check that one out. You put programmable LEDs on the Pinewood Derby, programmed in Arduino. If I had to do it over in NodeMCU with WLED running in AP mode, yeah, that would have been really cool, Shulin. That would be cool. But I'm glad it turned out so good. Okay, here we go. Now we just hit update and we wait. And broken in 3, 2, 1. No more loss of presets. Yeah, the preset successfully updated. Yay! So it'll reboot here in a second. The biggest change in 0.11 is the presets. So now you look over here and you see the presets looks different, doesn't it? The presets looks different. I don't remember what I set for them, but let's go into each preset and see how things are different currently. Okay, this is a total overhaul in presets. For one, you're no longer limited to 16. Task failed successfully. Justin, which videos to recommend syncing exterior lights to music? If you really want to sync exterior lights to music, you want X lights. So I have a little bit of X lights video stuff out there. You can just kind of go to the video, search bar on my channel and search X lights. But there are other better tutorials out there about X lights. But that's what you're going to want to use. Known issues that makes a 32 reboot. I have 2 ESP32 boards that crash regularly after upgrading from 0.100. Oh no. Oh, and he does know, and he's on it. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. So I wonder if that was, okay. Well, good. That's what 11.1 will be. Had some fun with LEDFX last night. Works fine. LEDFX is a music syncing one, right, Richard? Richard is talking about that. So who was asking? Whoever was asking about the video. That is a simpler one, LEDFX, and I did do a video about that one last year, and it was decent. I didn't use it too much because X-Lights, I think, is got a lot of features too. So if you're going to get into it, go ahead. Love your Discord. The guys in the LED lighting DIY are amazing, aren't they, Sean? They are amazing. Those are our pixel heads. Those are our pixel heads. They've named themselves Pixel Heads, and they have done an amazing job. But probably a few of them are here. Stubbs I saw was here, and I think Miguel was here. There's a few others. So and more joining and becoming, very active and very helpful as well. So got X-Lights working last night thanks to your tutorial. I now officially have no free time left. Where can you get the fairy lights? Let's see. Actually, well, Quindor has a link. So if you go to Quindor's webpage, there will be a link. If you go to mine, sorry about the distractions, guys. Sorry. You know me. I try, but I inevitably fail at staying focused. You'll have to remind me where I was a minute ago. Oh, not shop, but if you go to my website and then you go to the products page, anytime I have linked a product of any kind in a video, I've kept the link here so that it's easy for you to find again. If you search here, you should be able to find fairy. F-A-I, nope. Oh, Pixie, I think I called them Pixie lights. Yeah, Pixie lights, right here. These are awesome, by the way. These are really cool. Quindor introduced them to me. Oops, I can't give you all that. Okay, so you'll just have to go here and copy. I'll just copy this link. Copy link. No, that's not what I want either. Huh. Well, that'll work probably good enough. Hopefully that'll work. Anyways. Thank you, Sir Good Enough, by the way. Thank you. So the products page, there it is, Pixie lights. They're awesome. They're really cool. I put some on the Christmas tree. They look really cool. They're a WS2812. They're like kind of like a low power version, it seems like. So they don't really they don't get super bright. They don't need to get super bright. They don't use a lot of power. The wires here is actually the structure as well. So, you know, so far they've been decent for decorating. The best thing I've done with them so far is wrap them around the banister on the stairs. That's been really cool. And I think I might leave them there. Eventually, probably with enough hands grabbing the banister from time to time, they're probably going to break. But for now, they've been pretty good. All right. Okay. Use those on a small decorating white Christmas tree. Really awesome. Oh, I bet that probably looks really good. That probably looks really good. Never mind. Google, problem solved. Good. Okay. Let's go back to this. So we're back to WLED 0.11 and we're talking about presets. So now for each preset, you can go in here and you can do a few things. First thing that you can do is change the name of it. I don't remember which one this is, but it looks like the effect is number 34. So let's go to the wiki. Let's go to the let's see, list of effects and palettes. Let's look at number 34 so I can see what it is. Colorful. Okay, colorful. So let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Got too many things open here, so we're going to get rid of some of these. Bingo. Okay. So this one is for colorful. So I'm going to put colorful as the name. Great. ID 1, that's fine. Save changes, that's fine. Overwrite with state. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. I'll show you why you need that. We'll add something. We'll add a new effect, and that'll be what we use for that. If you wanted to copy this to a different preset, even in a different controller, that's what this is for. So let's say we wanted to copy it over to a different controller. And this is something that was what I've been trying to do many times. Just turn on peek to see what the preset is. Oh yeah, good call, Eric. Duh. I'm so dumb. You're right. I could just look at that. Turn on peek. Oh, and right now they're not doing it. So we want preset number 1. Oh, because I restarted them. Okay, we'll turn it off now. Back to this for a second. You can copy what's in here. If you wanted to duplicate this preset in a different controller, you can copy that, go to your new controller, create a preset, take off the use current state button, and that opens the API box, and then you can paste it in. And then call it colorful, or whatever it was that you wanted to call it. All right, and save it. And now I've got a colorful preset. And that's on my matrix over there. Oh, that looks cool. I did notice, though, colorful has changed, hasn't it? If you want the old style preset buttons, you can set up a quick label, by the way. Yes, we'll look at that in a second. So that's this, right? This quick label. So if you wanted a quick label, so if you want, like, instead of having a list, so in this, what we've got now is a list, right? These big buttons that are a list that have the name on them. Oops, I didn't save it. Colorful save changes. Now it's got the name on it, right? But if I wanted like the little buttons that kind of look like a remote control, you know, If you want the old style buttons, you could do this, and you can put, is it just two numbers or 2 digits or two letters in there, right? Yeah, so you could put a pair of numbers in there. You could put, you know, some letters that would get you to remember it. And now you've got this quick load buttons as well. So you could go through all these quick load buttons and say, you know, whatever, I don't know. Right? And now you would have the quick load buttons up here as well as this long list of buttons. So that's what the quick load labels do as well. All right. Okay, I'll leave those there for now. So let's go to preset number 2. We're going to turn it on. We're going to load preset number 2. We're going to turn on peak so we can see what it is. And this is color winkle, which is color twinkle, but I called it wrong, right? I said it wrong for a long time, so now it's color winkle. Color winkle. Okay. So we're going to save color winkle. Now we've got that name there. Great. Let's turn on preset number 3. Oh, this one's Merry Christmas. So we're going to change the name here to Merry Christmas. And this is saving things like well, it's saving the brightness, and it's also saving like the speed and stuff too, right? The intensity and the speed as well. Okay, so we want this one to be Merry Christmas. Okay. And so I can just keep on going down and going through all that, right? Let's make a new preset again. Let's first pick a new effect. So let's find a fun effect. I'm going to do, look, so colorful has changed, right? AirCookie, colorful has changed. Colorful used to be like all of the colors in sort of a rainbow. Maybe it wasn't rainbow, but it was like a lot of primary colors, right? And it was, you can still do pastel versus something else. Let's see, pastels. Yeah, so maybe washes it out a little bit more. But colorful is now using your default color palette over here. So what I need to do, since I want colorful, I want a colorful with a specific palette, I'm going to change my palette down here to that. Oops, I'm doing it on the wrong one. I'm looking up there to see what it looks like, and it's not looking right. But I'm going to change it to this. I think I liked that C2 or C9. Let's see, C9. Yeah, I want to do the C9 2. I liked that one. So now I want to save this, what I have currently as the preset. Let's slow it down. Yeah. We're going to say this now. This is what I want for my preset, this new preset. So I've set the current state the way I want it. Now when I go to create preset, now I want this use current state to be activated. Instead of pasting in something that's an API command, I want it to use the current state. Okay, I also want it to include the brightness and sure what the heck, save the segment bounds. So this is another big update for 0.11 is you can save segments in every preset now. Instead of just being in preset 16, it's in all of them. So fantastic, right? Somebody's asking me, am I an electrical engineer? No, I think you're talking about Quindor. Quindor might as well be. Okay, so we're going to call this, we're going to call it the C9 colorful. All right, and save it there. Great, C9 colorful. And now, this preset cycle thing, this is one thing I would love for it to save. Try intensity greater than 160. Oh, to get it to, what is that for? What is that for? Let me back up a second, see what AirCookie's saying. Old style colorful with intensity greater than 160. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. All right, so good. So let's go to colorful here. And what is my intensity on this one? My intensity is 205 on this one. Software engineer jumping into the scary world of electric eye. Is there an effect that bounces a pixel from the first to the end and then back? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. We can find it. We can look and see. Get the old behavior with the default palette. You have all the panels on the screen. Mine has tabs on the bottom. Oh, yeah. That's a good question. That's a good question, Sir Goodenough. Let's look at that. So what Sir Goodenough is asking about is the stuff on the bottom of the screen. I don't have the tabs on the bottom. If you go here into Config and User Interface, you can change a few things, including show bottom tab bar in PC mode. So I'm in, let's go back first. I'm in PC mode. If I go out of PC mode, these are the buttons that Sir Goodenough is talking about, the tabs at the bottom. If I go into PC mode, I've got them turned off in PC mode. If I want them turned back on, I go to User Interface, and I go to Show Button Tab Bar in PC mode. Boop, and then Save. Now if I go back, now I'm in PC mode, which means I've got all these different, I can see all the segments and all this stuff all at the same time. And now I've got those at the bottom. All right? No, old colorful is middle intensity and palette default. Ah, there it is. That's what the problem is. Okay, I was trying to figure out how I was doing something wrong. Okay, so back to this. So we want to change this. We want the old behavior. So we want this to be in the middle. There it is. Now it's back. Now it's back. Okay, so if you want colorful to behave the way it used to using the defaults, then you set the intensity. I just set it to 160 and that put it right in the middle. If I were to change the intensity, which is this bottom bar, if I were to change the intensity, now it goes to whatever you have for your color palette. That's really cool, dude. I love it. So it goes, so is that between like, so here's where it's washed out. So down here at the low end, you get the pastel colors. Looks like once you get up above, where's the cutoff there? Somewhere around 80. Then it goes into the more saturated colors. And then once you get above 160, it uses the palette down here. 128 is the middle. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. 255, 128. That makes sense. So anything less than 128, is that when it goes to pastel colors? Now it looks like if you go down further, it goes even more pastel-y. Low intensity. 80 and 60 are the cutoffs. Okay. I want to see what this thing does. Hold on, we got to do this. Colorful. This is the one I'm actually looking at in my office. Okay, so there's that. Looks normal. Let's see the peak so you guys can see. If I go below 80, then it gets washed out. Okay, great. So there you go. So now you've got three options for colorful. If you go below, if you put your intensity below 80, then it goes to like a pastel kind of less saturated colors. If you go between 80 and 160, then you will be into the more saturated colors, but using sort of the full palette still, just like below 80 uses the full color palette, or sort of the primary color palette, I guess, maybe what it is. It's like red, green, yellow, blue. And then if you go above 160, it switches to whatever you've got down here. So if you want to use your specific colors, that is so awesome. Man. That colorful is almost replacing Colorwinkle as my favorite. Does 1.1 support multiple pins now? Not yet. Not yet. I think 112. Yeah, he says so 0.12 is when it will have the multiple outputs, which will be awesome. By the way, when that does happen, not only will the DigiQuads do, the multiple output out of the box, DigiUnos will actually have to call them DigiDuos, because there are actually 2 pins on the DigiUno. Is Quindor here? Am I okay? This is not like it's a secret. It's just something that right now you have to precompile yourself or compile yourself if you want to use it. But yeah, the DigiUno controllers have 2 pins. If you look at them, and that's because when Quindor made these, when he designed these, he designed them to be able to have a separate, or to be able to be used with LED strips that have a clock and a data pin. But in most cases, most of the LEDs we're using have only a data pin. But in the future, at 0.12 of WLED, we will be able to put a second strip onto what is marked here as the clock pin. And this will actually, instead of being a DigiUno, it will be a DigiDuo. Oh, how freaking awesome is that? Oh my gosh, the world of LEDs is so awesome. Golly, like, what do people do that don't play with LEDs? I can't understand the world without being constantly excited about flashy, blinky colored lights. It's the best. Oh, ETA. Oh, I don't know, man. Give him some time. What is your ETA? I would think several months, but we'll see. I have 4 DigiQuads and 2 Unos and can't thank Quindor enough. Amen, brother. Amen. There's a forked version of 11 that does, but it's a custom compile. Or Quindor had a version that supports 1200 pixels and 300 on each of the 4 channels. Yeah. NDA broken. Read books or something. Ugh, that sounds horrible. What pin is it, Quindor? What's the actual GPIO number for the clock pin on this? There is no way I can read that. There is no way. Whoop. Thank you, Tizer. Mine have been useful. Let's see. Yeah, I still can't do it. Is it 3? Is it GPIO 3? I don't know. Check the pinout guide. Oh, yeah, I could do that, but you're here, so you've got it memorized. Come on. Just joined from the WLED Discord. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Cubic. Maybe in January, maybe March. Can't tell at this point. Yep, no problem. It'll certainly be here by next year. Oh, by next Christmas time is what I was thinking. But since we're getting close to Christmas, and most of this fancy light stuff has all been geared around Christmas, and that's tradition, and that's all fine and good. But we're going to keep the LED enthusiasm going by pushing hard for Valentine's Day lights. Everybody should put up their Valentine's Day lights on their house, right? And have a Valentine's Day light display, right? Let's show some love for the companions in our lives, huh? It's 16, and then 0, 1, or 3, depending on the ESP32 on top of it. Okay. Hello there, Electronics TV. All right. I've been looking at what would take to use the temperature sensor on the DigiUno to turn off the unit if it gets overheated in a box. Ooh, that's a good question, Richard. Quindor could probably help you with that. It's almost like you're selling stuff, right? What's wrong with sound? Uh-oh. Sound? Try creating all 12 segments. I found issue. The last segment has blue background on most of the effects. Oh, really? Quindor, turn off the D1 Mini's onboard LED when the LEDs are off. Oh, that's a good question. AirCookie, I thought I saw something about that. Your favorite is Twinkle Fox? Does the Uno have an external antenna? Only if you put a Pro on there, a D1 Mini Pro. Multi-data output. Did I miss when you tell us about the multi-data output, Henry? Well, we were talking about multi-data output, and AirCookie is here, and he's telling us that it will be available in version 0.12 of WLED, which will be sometime next year. Some months from now is when that version will come out. And that will be then in the pre-compiled version on the releases page for WLED. You'll find those things. Right now, you can get the DigiQuad version that Quindor made from his website. Should let AirCookie co-host this session if Christian is interested. Yeah, I don't want to pressure him into it. 65 minutes and you missed it all. Want to get your opinion on something? Oh, good boy. WS2815, 67 strips in aluminum channels under your roof line. 3 of the 4 have gone out within a year. BTF Lighting says they are not for outdoor use. The connectors are not waterproof. That seems odd. Why sell an IS66 strip if you can't be used outdoors? They're saying they won't cover them even though it's been less than a year. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, I guess, unfortunately, I don't know where you live. I guess you must live in Georgia. Or where's Auburn? Auburn's in Georgia, isn't it? Or Alabama? I don't know where Auburn is. I don't know the South very well. Yeah, I think they probably aren't going to help you. They probably aren't going to replace them, unfortunately. I guess the thing to do would be to waterproof the connectors. Either get different connectors or just, heat shrink wrap or something. I don't know, it's hard to say because I'm not sure that the connectors are really what caused the problem. That's the thing. And that might be, if you're going to try and argue with them, you might be able to say it's not the connectors, but they're probably not gonna care. That's unfortunate. I have most of my lights that are out on my house are using those same JST silly little non-waterproof connectors. Did I wrap them in electrical tape? I may have wrapped them in electrical tape at most. If I was doing it over again, I would probably solder them together. But that's just me. Or I would probably use those soldery melty connectors. You know what I'm talking about with soldery melty connectors? That's what I call them. They probably have a better name, but I call them soldery melty connectors. That's these little guys. They have a little bit of solder in the middle. And it's basically heat shrink plus like some kind of fancy glue-ish stuff. And then a little bit of solder in the middle. You put these on there, you butt the ends together, you put this on there, you heat gun it, and you're golden. So I would probably go with those. Coax seal may help for waterproofing. What's coax seal? Is that a like a caulking or something? Replace the connectors for XConnects and seal it with the strip ends. Yeah, XConnect connectors are really good. They have a gasket and they screw together and all that stuff. Solder and hot glue and then heat shrink. Yeah, Derek, that's a great way to do it too. Butt splice connectors. All right, let's go back to more stuff from the WLED. So we did the Christmas tree. Oh, we started to say to AirCookie, and this might be something maybe to squeeze in, at least a request from me and from a couple others here. When you go to use the preset cycle, it doesn't save when the board reboots. Well, maybe would it if we go into LED preferences, set the current preset cycle setting as boot default. Oh, there it is. Who was looking for this? This might be the trick. Okay, so now I'm going to turn on set current preset cycle setting as boot default. That is a mouthful. It saves for you. Is this why, Sir Goodenough? Is this it? Did you do that? Is that why it's doing that for you, not for me? Or it's just because you're special? You are special. Okay, let's try that now. Okay, we gotta, in order to get this to work, you have to put this in. I think you put this in first, right? And then you go, oops, and then we're gonna go all the way to 9 this time. because I've got 9 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And preset cycle. Okay. Now, if I reboot the board, security and update, and save and reboot, now we'll see if it comes back. Watching, no one is pressing thumbs up. Come on, people, press that button. Thank you, Quindor. That's a new, are we getting close to a record? 440. Wow. Say it 10 times really fast. Which part? Frank's here, 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 Frank's here. Is that what you meant? Oh, the soldery melty connectors? No way. DigiKey has them listed as soldery melty connectors? Sweet. All right, let's scroll down. And it's saved. Yay! It's saved. It doesn't save the time, but it did. It doesn't save the time? Really? Are you sure? It doesn't, Rick? It seems to have. Will updated my production DigiQuad after this stream. Hope I don't burn it again. Oh, gosh, don't burn it. Do not burn it. Don't burn it. Do it while we're here. Yours hasn't been. That's funny. Are you, and you're on 0.11, you said, right, Rick? I don't think I've been on the LED Discord. Oh, well, you should be, Jacob. You should be. There are a lot of Discord channels, and so there's like different servers. So there's a WLED server. There's a WLED server. There's Quindor has a server. And then there's mine, which has a whole lot of stuff, including an LED channel. So there's lots of places to go. And it's probably a lot of crossover with the same people, but it's a good idea to be a part of all of them. Because I am. Are you willing to test something someone claimed to be a small bug on stream? Sure. Sivlak, let's do it. Tell me about it. All right, here we go. The hookup's here. All right, everybody. How's it going, Rob? How's it going? Man, I was looking at one of Rob's videos, and maybe you have more that are even more popular. 1.7 million views on like your what not to do with LED strips or something like that. That's crazy, man. That's fantastic. Congratulations. You've been killing it. Upgraded our Christmas village to use WLED and WS2811. Each house now has candle flicker effect, and the town Christmas tree is all blinged out. Whoa. Wait, so where's your Christmas village? So is this like in your neighborhood or just somewhere close by in your town where they've done this? I'm reading this and I'm thinking, did that mean that you got everybody on your street to do lights like this with WLED? And that sounds awesome. Well, we need some pictures, Rob. We need some video, man. All right, Sivlak, here's the thing to test. If you enable the preset cycle, then turn on the night timer, the presets cease to cycle. Oh, okay. Okay, let's do this in a... That's weird. Why is it not? Oh, I know why. So I also need to tell it to start with preset number 1, or it won't do that. Apply preset 1 at boot. Ooh. Why didn't that save? Set current preset cycle setting as boot default. So this checkbox, I guess that checkbox only, it doesn't stay on every time. It's only on, like you check that box and it will save it. And then if you change those settings, then you check the box again for it to save again. It seems. It's the current one. Yeah, okay. Sets at that amount. If you want to change it, you click it again. Okay. Okay. So let's go here. Let's change this time Let's go. Let's change the time down here to something that we can watch, fairly quickly. So let's change it to like 10 seconds. Okay, so we're going to change it to 10 seconds. And so now this should change every 10 seconds. So what we're going to do is watch this for a few seconds, and hopefully it will start changing. Should have changed by now. Maybe I need to change it here and then turn it on. Yeah, that's it. Silly me. You got to change it when it's off. Change it when the preset cycle checkbox is off, and then turn it back on. Okay. So now it's doing this. Okay, now it just changed to color winkle. Okay, so it's changing. And then the question that Sivlak said that people have run into is if you turn on the timer, it stops cycling. Correct? So let's try it. Well, now we're going to wait and see 10 seconds if it stops. I think you're right. I think Sivlak, it did stop. Because what it did, I saw it jump from, it had started on the first one, and even though it had been cycling, this hadn't changed which one it was highlighting. But as soon as I hit the timer, it changed to this one, and it hasn't kept cycling. So there you go. So it's true, Sivlak. It's true. It's true, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true, just like Christmas and Santa Claus. It's true, it's true. What's the record? I don't know what the record is, but I think we're going to hit the record. I mean, grand total, we're almost at 500. That's humongo. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And I haven't done any celebrations of new subscribers. We've had a ton of new subscribers. So thanks, everybody, for being here and for subscribing. Had to move, lost my NodeMCU and my lights. No, Jacob. You had to move to a new house? Turns out it's a design choice. Oh, great. Hey, if it's a design choice, then perfect. It's not a bug then, right? It's not a bug. The confusion with the color palettes C9, C9.2, and C9 is real. C9 new is real. I don't even know what those mean. The color palettes the names of the color palettes always, where do you come up with these? I was wondering if maybe these are like, somebody in some graphic design thing knew about it. And so that's how they're named. Like these are some sort of official names. I don't know. Let's turn it off. We'll turn this now to every 3 minutes. That's not 3 minutes. That's 3 minutes. There we go. Oh, the timer's on. Let's turn the timer off. Ring, ring. Thank you very much. We'll do one more. Let's all get to Twitch as well and get the Docs of 75 Twitchers today. Thank you. Ring. Hey, man, we have just been going crazy with the subscribing. Thank you very much, guys. 450, 150 likes. What's going on? Smash like. Thank you, guys. All right, I want to read what Rob's got going on because it sounds super cool. Okay. People are all over Christmas lights this year yeah, that's true. I've had a traffic jam outside my house every night since I went live on the 1st. That's fantastic. I have got a confession to make, and that is that I have not done really anything with my display. I haven't gone to X Lights. I haven't put up any props or anything else. So I need to repent. But I've been a little busy, which is why I'm really advocating for the Valentine's Day the Valentine's Day house light show, which I will be displaying on the backside of my house by Valentine's Day. How's that sound? Thanks for all the new subscribers. All right. Let's see. There's a sync question. Talk about sync, please. Okay, let's talk about sync. Sync has been a little bit tricky for me, so I'm glad we've got AirCookie here and some others that are that are knowledgeable, super knowledgeable. Let's go here and read. Let's do this crazy thing called reading. Oh no. Let's see what it says about sync. Is there something in here about sync? Compiled, frequently asked questions, quick start settings. Is sync going to be in here? Printing TPU is frustrating. Oh boy. End rant, back to LEDs. TPU, that's the flexible stuff, Frank? Especially because yours is a Bowden extruder, right? So it's printing flexible is better when you have a direct drive. So when the extruder gear is right next to the nozzle, there's less room for that stretchy, flexy filament to flexy, stretchy. So you end up, yes, please save the sync state on reboot. Yeah, I think that, Mabros, I think that's the issue. I cannot print with something I do not have. Well, that's true. You need a second printer with a direct drive extruder. Huh? Squirrel is right. So, AirCookie, what can you tell us about the sync? Because I have had difficulty predicting the behavior of sync sometimes as well. I know for sure that it has to do with that you have to have your UDP ports matching when you want to use sync. In version 11, there's a second port. There's a second port, and I don't know what that is about exactly. Let's go to the releases page. Let's go to releases and let's see what kind of release notes there are for this newest version. Maybe there's something in there about what these are. Change log for the complete list of changes. Add Ethernet support. Ooh, that's cool. Colorful effect now supports palettes. Added a basic DDP protocol. ESP32 touch pin support. Oh, that's fantastic. WLED logo, welcome screen. And that's 10.2. So what's that other port about? I want the LEDs to turn on a time and off a time. So I'm playing with macros for 2 days. I still didn't make it. Oh no. Nori, it is easier to hear if someone talk about it. It is, rather than read it. Point us to the page where sync. I would love to understand how to use sync properly, because I have felt like I'm not using it properly. Can you save segments with the latest presets? Yes. Vistaniscus. Yes, you can with all of them instead of just 16. Really? Not much of your original printer is still there? That's funny. Viscous. That's what I thought. Oh, I/O. I see what you did there with the 10 and the I/O. Gotcha. All right, well, I don't know about this second port, but anyways, you got to have your controllers on the same port. So if you want them to sync, that's number one, is to make sure that they're on the same port. Okay. I guess let me think about how we want to do this. What's the best way for me to play with sync? We're gonna play with sync. So to play with sync, this is what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna use all of my outside controllers. See, that's funny. These I do remember. And then actually there's one more. Okay, great. So I now have displayed here 4 different controllers. This one is on the back of the house. This one's on the side of the house. This one's the quad on the front of the house. And this one is just a little strip above the girl's window. So I want them all to sync together. So I'm going to go into the config and the user preferences, and I'm going to, not the user preferences, sync interface, and I'm going to make sure that they're all on the same port. And this is a different port. It's not the default port. I don't want to get distracted by how do I change the background, but if somebody want to explain to Brad how to change the background real quick, I can come back to it later, but I'm going to do my best to stay focused. So I'm going to copy this UDP port to all of these. These are not all running the latest version of WLED, by the way, and I don't want to, we won't do that just right now. Okay, so that one's on the same port. That one's on the same port. And that one's on the same port. Okay, so they're all on the same UDP port. All right. Now, what I would like is that if I change any of them, that all of them do the same thing. So if I just, let's see, there's a setting here, sync interfaces, on-off button enabled. Oh, you know what? That's different. That it says something different in the newest version, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It says the same thing right there. Philips Hue, send macro notifications, receive. All right, well, anyways, on-off button enabled, on-off button enabled. Oh, this one, on-off button was not enabled. Is that the on-off button? I think that's actually the button. That's the physical button. 4th tab is off. Yeah, I think that's the physical button, though. I think that was the thing that I thought was the physical button when we were talking about GPIO 0. But there's another setting. So let's we're going to save these. We're going to save these. We're going to save this. We're going to save this. Bitwarden wants to save all my passwords. We're going to go back to all these. There is a setting, though, about sync. This is what I was looking for. Sync button toggles both send and receive. Following you, you need to both WLED in this browser. You will need to set them again. Oh, this is different. That's not what we're dealing with. Okay, so sync button toggles both send and receive. I'm going to turn that on all of them. And that was under user interface. Okay, so it's on there. Config, user interface. Turn that one on there. Config, user interface, turned on there. Okay. Don't touch your face. All right. So we're going to save all those. Save. Make sure that I did it in this one too. Yep, I did. Okay, save. All right. Now we're going to turn on the sync button. Other lights in the network will now sync to this one. If I hit it again, this light and other lights in the network will no longer sync. All right, I'm going to turn on the sync button on all of them. Bring, bring, bring. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Johan. AirCookie asked, DrZzs, did you reboot the controller after changing the port? Oh, I don't think I changed the port. I was checking the ports, and they were all there. OTA does break at times, I have to admit. Oh, I've had good success with it, fortunately for me, I guess. We'll forgive you for that one. We'll forgive you if it breaks from time to time. All right, so now I've got sync on all of them, correct? Okay, so now I'm going to turn peak on for all of them so that we can see what's going on. All right, now if I turn one of them on, I would expect that they would all turn on. Did you set one of the controllers to sync to this one? Well, I turned them all on sync. So it should be, this is what I expect, Rob. Maybe there's some place I need to understand. Seems like you just put them all on sync to other. Well, I set the port. So they're all on the same UDP port. That's two, there's two different settings. Okay. Is there any possibility? Mike Tunnel, there's the way to do it is to go to the ask. Put it in the ask channel. And I will go back to ask. But if you can ask it, you can ask all the questions you want here in chat. When you press sync, it toggles between both settings. Sets that controller as the master. Master. So if I want them all to be masters in this particular case. I guess we can do that. I think it works like one master, several slaves sync style. All right, well, let's play with it. If I turn this one on, the south side, the front, these ones did not come on. Okay, so let's turn this off. Okay, so now I've got one that's supposed to be the master. Okay, so just one of them has the sync button turned on, the others do not. Okay, now if I power them on, nope. Okay, maybe powering them on is not part of what they sync with. So let's then change the effect. Nope. Okay, so if this button's not turned on, they're not responding to the master. Nope. They're still not responding to the master. What the bleep? Peak updates. You need to refresh the page. Oh, I don't know, do I? I thought I'd... No. Turn it off on the master. Okay. No. Still no. Only the effects and colors. Don't need to refresh. Peak updates. Okay, but only the effects. So it doesn't change the... So the power on, power off doesn't do it. But... Nope. Okay, I'm obviously using sync wrong. Can I see sync settings of the master? Yes. Sync settings. We don't do master and slave anymore. Need other wording. Oh, that's true, Tycho. Is the port open on the firewall? Well, it's not leaving the network. Turn on send notifications on direct change and reboot. Is there an issue because some are running? Read the message at the bottom of the page when you press the sync button 4 times. 4 times? Oh, I see. It changes. This and other lights will sync. Other lights in the network will now sync with this one. This light and other lights in the network will no longer sync. Other lights in the network will now sync with this one. Oh. This light and other lights in the network will no longer sync. Other lights in the network will now sync with this one. Uh-oh. It's a bad sign. I'm using it wrong. You still need to restart. Why do I need to restart? You need to fix that UI. Having that in a toaster message is kind of weird. Just turn sync on the master. That's all. Okay. Turn sync off on all the rest. Okay. So sync is on the master. The rest are not syncing. Chasing tails. You should reboot just to be sure where you're at. Okay. I'll reboot. I'll reboot them all. This is the part of the show where we figure things out the hard way. There are two things that I will answer in a moment. Somebody was talking about tell us how to turn it on at a certain time. So we'll cover that. Reboot in the info section. Oh, I didn't know that was a different place to reboot. I always do it at the other one. These are changing. Once you change on the sync, it does the next change. Having sync actually reboot all of them on the network when you need it would be great. Where's the ask channel? Confirm it. Confirm it. Oh, sorry. Confirm reboot. Confirm reboot. Confirm reboot. Oops, info. Confirm reboot. Okay. Now I've confirmed all the reboots. So there you go. Thank you, sir. Good enough. So you do that squiggly thing, ask, and then it will go in there and I'll look at it. Which controller is master? Can you quickly do that point again? Yeah. Gahan, I'm learning this. I'm learning to do this the right way. I thought I understood it, but apparently I do not. So I'm learning to do this the right way. And then when we've got it, we will do a full re-summary. Okay. Fabian, I have been enjoying my morning fantastically. About 500, almost 500. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Exactly what I've been pulling my hair out about lately. Good, Travis. Good. Me too. Learn equals trial and error. That's right. That's what we do. We figure stuff out. Okay. So where are we at? Just 2 states. I was confused by the insane amount of clicking on the sync button performed by DrZzs. Made me think there were multiple states. My bad. Okay. Set receiver settings on slave and sending settings on master. That's all. So let's look at the sync. So is this where it is? Send notifications on direct change. Okay. You could also send macro notifications, send Alexa notifications, notifications on button press, Philips Hue change notifications. Okay. So this is that you're determining what stuff you're going to be sending, and it's not everything. I don't know why the Philips Hue change notifications is turned on. I don't use that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Failed to connect. Oh, no. Man down. Man down. This one's bad. Oh, no. We rebooted. And now it's dead. Crapo. Never happens. Okay, now maybe it'll work. Maybe. Uh-oh, what happened? Sad face. RIP 177, yeah. Oh, maybe it'll come back. It's my blasted crap network. Don't tell Mrs. Z's, but I spent $600 on a PoE camera system last night. Just to try and get some of these things off my network. You would need X lights for your animated candy canes. Maybe it shouldn't have changed IP addresses, but we'll see. Okay, so now let's turn on peak so we can see what's going on. Oh, okay. And now we're going to change to whatever, bouncing balls. Nope. 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 Yes, I do use Unify access points, and I do not like, well, I shouldn't say I don't like them, but they have been so much trouble for me. So much trouble. Yep, Reolink. Okay. Were there any change in the sync message between the latest two versions? Refresh. Nope. 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 Are the receivers also on 21.320? Yeah, I believe so. Let's check. 21.320. Let's go back here, make sure that this is the right one. 21.320. See, this did work at one point in the past for me. 21.320. But then now it's no longer doing it. One controller on the other one, both works fine. If you didn't buy the AI version of the Reolink NVR, you should cancel and wait a month. It's pretty dang amazing. Oh, really? Tons of Unify, not a single problem. Well, I've got tons of Unify and tons of problems. I did. Let's not get too far into that though. I don't want to get too far into my Unify problems. We can spend a whole nother session just on that, but not today. I know. How about that for resisting a squirrel, huh? Settings are all okay. Must be something with UDP not getting through. Try send notification twice setting. Okay. So we're going to send notifications twice. Why don't I just turn them all on? Yeah. I will tell you how I've gotten past this, and it's going to be even easier now with presets the way they are. But the way that I've gotten past this is by just making all of them, putting the same macros in for all of them. Does it have a date and time automation? Yes, it does, pretty much, PyroMonkey. But we're going to get through that too. Custom port. I did that. That's what I've got. This port is the custom port for each of them. Okay, so we're going to turn on Circus. Nope. And nope. What the bleep? What the bleep? Everybody else has said that all this, that why don't I just turn them all on? Christmas light store. Just finished setup X-Lights controllers. They're getting started. Getting started with this stuff guide. There are a few good videos about it. I've got a beginner's guide video. There's other very good ones out there as well. Hookup Rob, who's here, has a whole one. Hate to bring it up, but it's possibly your Unify configuration. Sorry. Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Maybe that's it. Because I tell you what, my Unify configuration has been busting my... What do you think? So, my workaround. Let me tell you my workaround for this. I've gone to using the macros as the workaround. So let's switch for a minute. Okay, we're going to leave the sync behind. The sync so far has become... Okay. So the way that I've made it work was by using this, time-controlled presets. I was using it as macros when there was macros. Now there's not macros, but basically, here's your time. So people are asking about time. Let's talk about time. Okay, we're going to talk about time. We're going to talk about time. Time. Oh, is it almost 2 hours already? Oh, dang it. Okay, we're going to talk about the time, how to get these things to turn on at a specific time. We're going to talk about the Alexa thingy. And then we're going to have to talk about the Home Assistant part of it in the next stream. Because it's almost noon. Wow. What a great stream. This has been awesome. If I synced my wife's kitchen counter LEDs to my Christmas lights, she'd shoot me. Yeah. We'll have to come back to this. I will figure this out offline. I'll talk to AirCookie. Christian, if you're willing, not right now, because if you don't have a mic capability, whatever, but let's chat. And you and me and the others, or whoever, we'll get this sync thing figured out, and I will demonstrate how to get sync working in a concise way on the next stream, okay? And maybe it's because of my router situation, which has been okay. First thing you got to do, if you're going to do anything with time, is you got to go to the time setup, tell it to get the time from an NTP server, which in most cases all you got to do is turn that on. But in some other countries, there are some issues, like the issues are with India. I know there was an issue with where their NTP servers, but you just got to get the NTP server for your country, okay? So get the NTP server for your country, turn that on, whatever, 24-hour or not 24-hour, set your time zone, okay, great, and then save and it'll restart and then it should show your time. For me, it shows the time right here, which is the 12th or the 7th of December of 20 and the time of day. Perfect. Okay, great. It's good. The next thing we're going to do, because macros are now different and they're not really there anymore because the macros are in the API command stuff, right? Presets now can also be used as macros to save both JSON and HTTP API commands. Just enter the preset ID below. Use 0 for the default action instead of a preset. So if you want it to, for these things here, if you want it to turn on at a certain preset, that's what you set these for. But for the timing, if you want to turn on with a certain time, then this is where you set that. Now, what I've got here is 2 presets. It took, when I went from 10.2 to 11 on this controller, it changed my macros to presets. So in preset number 17 and preset number 32, those are actually my old macros. So if I go back here to my front page, Z macro 1 and Z macro 16, these are my old macros. And they became presets. Basically, we no longer really have macros. Presets are macros as well now. So in this, it just says turn it on, which is T equals 1, then the and symbol. It sets the effect to 74, which I'm pretty sure is color winkles. And then it turns on the nightlight, but I didn't think the nightlight thing was actually working. So actually, I'm going to take the nightlight. I'm going to take the nightlight part out. Okay, save it. Now, what's happening? Oh, so that's that macro. Let's look at this other one, because this other one, what this other one did was just turn it off. All right, so this is how I got it to turn on at a certain time and turn off at a certain time. So T equals 1 turns it on. T equals 0 turns it off. Okay, so now we go back to this time macros and we say, okay, at a certain hour, which this needs to be earlier because it's way too late. Well, let's make a different one. Yeah, we'll turn it. We'll do it here. Fine. So we're going to say at 5 p.m. So at 1700, it will run this, in this case now, preset number 17. I had it only doing it through a few days of the week, but you can do it through a few days of the week. Okay. So this means that at 5 o'clock, it will turn on preset 17. At 2300, it will turn on preset 32, which actually turns it off, right? So this is how you set the time. You want it to turn on at a certain time. You set a preset. We're going to go back to this. So you want it to turn on at a certain time. You set a preset. And in your preset, not only do you do all this stuff, but you got to put in the t = 1 to turn it on, right? So I assume you can, so there's JSON like this, and then I'm guessing you can just go t = 1. Do I need a comma or anything? Probably and, huh? T = 1 and? Is that what I need? Nope, that's not right. So t = 1, let's see. Nope, that's not right either. So do I need it inside of the squigglies? How do I do it? No, either JSON or HTTP. Oh, okay. Okay. So it can't be both. Fine. Fine. This is JSON. So you have to do JSON or the HTTP commands. Okay. Well, that's fine. Then do this. Then go in here, and when you go to your macros, your time stuff, so this one is going to turn it on. And let's set another one so that at 17:01, it sets it to preset number 1. So this will turn it on, and then this will turn it on to that specific preset. That I didn't understand. Yeah, okay. I did not make it very clear. Okay. Very bad. Very bad. Very bad. All right, let's try it. Let's try this again. Must be equal to 24. Oh, sorry, because the minute's over here. Oops. Okay. It's because it's 2 hours. I hit my 2-hour mark. I hit my 2-hour mark. I'm losing my mind. Okay. So the time thing. The way we're going to do the time thing. At a certain time, it's going to run a certain preset. In my particular case, that preset 17 is here. All right, we're going to change this name to preset 17. Just so it's clear. Okay, that's what it is. Save changes. This is the HTTP version. This is the syntax for the HTTP version. And basically what I'm doing is I'm having it turn on with color winkle. That's it. If you wanted to, you could just have it turn on. So you have one that's just on. I'm going to call it, I'm going to say 17 just because we're still going to need that, but I'm going to just say turn on. Because that's the command. Okay, turn on. And then down here, I'm going to have it say turn off. And it's actually going to be 32. Okay. So turn on and turn off. Now, when I go to my time macros, I want it to turn on at 1700 and turn off at 11 p.m. at 2300. Okay. Then if I wanted to, at a certain time, maybe I want color winkle to be on for half an hour and then I want it to change, I can do that. Or I can just turn these off. So sometimes, like in the certain months, you're not going to want the lights to turn on at 5. So this would be what I would put in for the winter. But in the summer, it doesn't get dark until later. And so maybe I'll turn this one on in May or something like that. But basically, that's one way, not the only way, but that's one way to get it to turn on and turn off at a certain time. The last thing I'll just show real quick before we go, two things. Two things to show real quick before we go. One is the sync interfaces and Alexa. This I really like. It works well. You need to turn on, I think it works well. Maybe not everybody has. But I've gotten it to work well. It works well with the girls' fancy lights. So when I say fancy lights, so we did crown molding around the girls. Not, I say crown molding, it's corner molding. It's this simple, cheap stuff we put around the ceiling just to make it so that we could put lights facing up. And when we do, they're RGB lights, right? And they're WLED controlled, and so they can change colors and they can do effects and they have a really good time with it. I just call them girls' fancy lights. So you turn this on. You put in here a pretty unique name. It's got to be a pretty unique name so it doesn't get confused with something else, right? You can't just say LEDs or something. Put that on, and then you save it all. I wonder if this is part of my sync problem. No, it's not. You save it all, and then you just have to go to either the Alexa app, or you just have to say, try to meet. New devices. So I just told her to discover new devices. So she'll go through and look for new devices on the network, and she should find this. But she'll probably come back and say, I didn't find anything. And that's okay. That's okay. She still will probably find them. It may take some time. Eventually, I'll be able to use this phrase, back upper lights. So I'll tell her, Alexa, turn on back upper lights. And I think you can do, AirCookie, I think you said you can do effects now. So I can say, can I say set back upper lights to Merry Christmas or something? Does that work? Yeah. Yeah. So she just told me she didn't find anything new, and that's okay. I think she still will find them eventually, but I won't know until I either look through the Alexa app at all the things that are there, and eventually maybe something will show up called back upper lights. And then you can control it there. Then you can use like what, who's been saying TRCC. So he got his to be discovered, and then he made a routine, I assume is what you're saying, in the Alexa app that says at a certain time, turn them on, at a certain time, turn them off. Probably not super reliable. Another really great way to do it, and we didn't have time to get to it today, but we will do it soon in another one of the 12 streams of Christmas, is how to get these things done. A reboot, and then it will work. She should discover it right away. Oh, okay, let's do that. We'll do the Home Assistant. We'll do the Home Assistant integration stuff, because the Home Assistant integration stuff has leaps and bounds over what it was 6 months ago or something. So it's really, really good now, and it's not the way that it works with services is a little bit different than the way you run a lot of other entities. So it's worth going through. It's worth an explanation for sure. It's all there. It's just how you get what you want out of it is a little bit different than how you get things out of other devices. So we'll go through that, but not today. All right, we're going to reboot this one again. And this poor guy never came back online. I'm going to my Unifi and see if I can find it and reboot it. So I was going to do the Alexa thing. Oh, I was going to do the background thing. Somebody was asking about the background, so we can show the background thing real quick too. Once we... Oops. Main front. So it says it's here. It says it's working, but it's not. So I'm just going to hit reconnect and hopefully that'll work. Okay, so this rebooted now. Let's try again. Wow. For all of you out there, mute your devices. Alexa, discover new devices. Yeah, that's the problem, is that it's Google's fault that there's no Google support. Yep. All right, so somebody wanted to know about the background. The background's pretty easy. It's from a couple versions ago. You go in here to user interface, and then down here you can put in any, I guess, web-hosted URL image. And then what he says up here, this is important. The following UI customization settings are unique, both to the WLED device and this browser. You will need to set them again if using a different... Yeah, she didn't find it. You will need to set them again if using a different browser, device, or WLED IP address. So this has happened to me. So like you set them, say you're on this PC, like I'm on this PC, and I set it to this specific background. But when I pull this device up on my laptop with a different browser, or even if I just use a different browser, like here's the Brave browser, which I should be using more often, but I'm not often enough. So when I pull it up in Brave browser, it doesn't have that background image. Okay. So there's a problem lately. Reboot your Alexa and discover immediately after it boots. Okay. Maybe it'll take another reboot for that to happen. But regardless, it does work. Like the Alexa integration to be able to say turn on, turn off works. So that's it. All right. That was a good stream, guys. That was a good stream. We got to, I mean, we've had consistently 400 and something viewers. I hope it was really helpful to you. I think there's some good stuff in there that I'll probably want to go back in and clip out and paste together into a smaller condensed stream, which would be really useful. So we'll do that. And then we know what we're going to do in some of the coming streams. We're going to do sync. We're going to get sync worked out. We're going to get the Home Assistant integration put in there, and then maybe we'll mess with some of the other settings if we didn't get to some of them. Yeah, we got to get this Unifi thing going, Rob, for Pete's sake. The tricky part is trying to do it during a stream. I think I need to do it off stream. But man, have I done a lot of trying to get this Unifi stuff worked out, and it just has not worked. Okay, I have a picture of strange people on my... Oh, I know who they are. Never mind. Okay, let's do the sign-off. There's nobody else here to sign off with me, so it's just going to be me. If you don't know what the calendar is, too, if you go to the website, at the bottom is the calendar for the stream. I think the actual next stream of the 12 streams of Christmas is going to be Friday morning. Yep. So I got to work a lot the next 3 days. So the next stream will be Friday morning at this time. So be ready. All right. All right. Boom, 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 boom. That's all for now. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, adios. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your help. Quindor, AirCookie, brother, thank you again for being here and for helping out. Take care. More LED stuff on Friday. Bye. And on to Discord. That's what Blade always says. Now to Discord, because you go to Discord and you can keep the conversations going and keep asking and answering questions. So, adios, everybody. Thank you, Dr. 44.